Hi, my name is Matthew Zinovich, and this is my video game presentation for COM 218. This is during the third week of our class, and this is part B of a two-part presentation based on a game that we are making. So let me begin by talking about platforms. Okay, platforms come in a different array of systems for video games. For instance, PCs. They've been making them for years. Another platform would be, let's see, Xbox. Xbox One. I actually own an Xbox, so that's a very recognizable console, and it's been around since mid 2000s. PS4, Android, Apple, things of that nature. Those are all different platforms for video games. Now, I wouldn't say there's a common platform used because different people have different tastes, but there is generally a video game is for a specific console. Say Halo, it's only made for Xbox or Microsoft, and something like God of War is only made for PS4. So typically, some games are exclusive for some consoles or for some PCs actually. Now, for our game, we've decided to go with PCs. We feel that with a PC we can have better graphics, more customization, unlimited amount of modifications, and a large control variety. Now, it's better graphics. Let's be honest. Better hardware can be packed into a computer than a console, or even a mobile device, say an iPhone or an Android phone or a tablet. The reason for this is, the hardware, the space for the hardware, and not having to cram it into something small or cost effective. You can pretty much have the best computer on the planet and it will play the game as best it can. More customization. You just have more options. You have more coding ability. You're dealing with a PC, so your ability to customize it is unlimited. Modifications. You can add in more levels, you can add in better graphics, more storyline. Instead of having to release an update on a console, with a PC, it's, the sky's the limit. Large control variety. Okay, same thing, PCs. You can use a keyboard, you can use a mouse, you can use, a controller. Everything is possible. If they make it, you can use it. As far as other consoles or mobile devices, you're limited. A mobile device and iPhone, you're going to only be able to use, on-screen sticks. On a console, you're only going to be able to use a controller. They do make game pads and they do make, mouses and keyboards, but typically people aren't going to have those. And if you have a PC, you're going to have a keyboard and you're going to have a mouse. We potentially are going to make this game be able to be ported later on onto mobile devices. We feel that if we initially create it for PC, there is an ability to make it into a mobile device. And we are looking at growth. Growth is very important for what we're trying to make this video game. Now, tools and resources. First things first is we got to choose the proper software. There's a multitude of software that we can use to design a video game, and as a group, we're going to come up with the best possible software to use to finalize and to finish and to create our project. Build the characters and environments. That's something that we're gonna research. We're gonna brainstorm, and we're gonna collectively in a group, we're going to create everything from scratch. Tinker and publish the game. After we create it, there's bugs, there's small tweaks, there's little things we have to go in and fix, and we have to play. We have to try it. We have to create every possible scenario. Possibly a beta test. Those type of things, answer issues before publishing a game to the public, and that's important because these small things need to be addressed, because if they're not, essentially we're going to be putting out a bad product. Okay, personnel. First things first is we have to get artists. We have to get an artist that is going to envision our project and is going to place it in a program in a video game that we like and we feel that is visually appeasing. Now a designer, he's going to design the game and the layout and how everything works, and that's important because he's ultimately going to be the visionary of the game, and it's very important to research and find the proper designer. Now we need a programmer. Programmer is going to code create the source code. He's going to create the game and make the things possible to actually make the game work. A level designer. Level designer is going to take every level that we need and he's going to create it essentially from the ground up. As far as game goes, depending on how many levels, he's going to create everyone systematically, and he's going to be how the game progresses through playing it. Sound engineer. We need someone that takes the artist's work, the level design, and the designer, and takes in all those things and creates a sound. We don't want a game that's just visually appeasing. We need a game that's visually and verbally and acoustically sound, and that's going to be very important. And last but not least, we need a tester. Testers are huge. They play, I feel, one of the biggest roles because they're the one that is actually giving feedback on what the team has created. They take something that hasn't been played, that hasn't gone on the market, and they find the bugs, they find the problems, they do the nitty-gritty work after everything's created, and they have a lot of pressure on them because if they're unable to catch something or if they don't test it properly, a faulty project or a video game is going to go out, and it's important really for them to lock down all the problems and fix them. Now, resources. First, source code. We need to determine what source code that we're going to be using and what fits us the best. Graphic libraries. Those are important. Graphically, that's going to be with the designer, and he's going to be able to go in there and take all the images and all the visuals and everything and bring it together. Another resource is available software. We have to take the cost into determining how it's going to be made, and we got to balance that. We don't want software that we can't afford, and we don't want software that's not going to be usable for the project that we're trying to create and the video game we're trying to publish. Along with graphic libraries, we need sound files. These sounds are going to come, and they're going to complement the game, and they're going to work together, and they're going to overall put our vision on the table and make something that's graphically appeasing and visually appeasing. And those are really the tools and the resources that we're going to be needing. Conclusion, we're going to create a video game from scratch. We have great ideas, a great team, and we're going to provide excellent customer satisfaction because that's the one thing that we need to provide. It's the most important thing. We want the people that we're creating the game for to be ultimately satisfied with the project that we put out and the video game that we publish. And last but not least, we want to make it fun for all ages because that's the most important thing. If the game's not fun, it's not a video game, honestly. I mean, you want to be able to have fun, you want to keep people entertained, and that's what we're trying to do. Thank you for your time with the presentation, and if you have any further questions, please ask.